In this video, I want to talk about fear and how to overcome it. So this is a very interesting topic to me because we can't ever overcome fear. We can't. Fear's always going to be there, right? So how do you navigate around fear? How do I do it? Well, understanding, first of all, that it's courage that I need, not the absence of fear, because fear is always going to be there. Like, for example, I did 15 bungee jumps in 6 days in 2019 when I went to Japan, right? One of my clients, luckily for me, he owns, the biggest bungee jump company in Japan. And so I went there and we did 15 jumps in 6 days. It was amazing. But I had never done a bungee jump before, and I was super terrified of heights, and I'm still terrified of heights. So what was interesting about that whole experience is the fear that I felt. And there's actually one video, I think it's day 3, I went on a 100-meter jump. Because first of all, it was day 1 was 30 meters. Day 2 was 50-something meters, and that was super scary. And then day 3 was 100 meters, and I didn't shit myself, but if I needed to do a shit, I probably would have shit myself. It was like, that was the most scared I've been in my life up until that point, right? And you see the video, it's on my YouTube, you can watch it, and I was just so scared. But here's the thing. Courage is doing the thing scared. That's what courage is, right? So whenever you feel fear, I got to learn to stop preaching, right? So whenever I feel fear, I know, and if it's something I want to do, right? Like if it's, for example, bungee jump, that's something I want to do. It's fun, right? Well, it looks fun at least. It's something that I want to do. I want to be able to brag about it because that's just my ego talking. Whatever, right? It's fine. So, and it's something people respect because most people are scared, right? And they don't want to do the scary thing. Even though they want to do it, like they don't want to do it, if that makes sense. So I was like, all right, if I'm going to become the best version of myself and having my goal is to be proud of myself, right? That's my goal in life. So if I want to be proud of myself, would I be proud of myself if I don't go and do these bungee jumps? If I just say,
nah, you know what, it's a great opportunity, but
I want to do it, but I'm so scared that I'm going to say no. How would I feel about myself? This is the inner dialogue that's going on, right? I don't want to do that because I will feel shit about who I am. And if I feel shit about who I am, that's going to project onto everything I do. Every person I interact with is going to get a shittier version of me because I feel shit about myself. And I don't want that. That's why I push to do the things that I'm scared of, right? And so what my hopes was in doing that 15 bungee jump, actually the plan was just 6 jumps in 6 days, but I ended up doing 15 jumps in 6 days. And so the reason I'm sharing this with you is because it just goes to show you that we're so scared. I was so scared of doing just 6 jumps. And then I was like, as I was in it, I remember doing a jump. I did like 2 or 3 jumps at one side, a few sites, right? So the last day it was 106 meters, the tallest site they had. And I did 1 jump running off, like facing frontwards. And then the second jump on that same bridge, I did it backwards. Because my ex-business mentor was like, he challenged me before I went out there and he was like, do a jump backwards for me. And I was like, that's a good challenge. I'm a man. I love a challenge. So I was like,
fuck yeah, I'm going to do that.
I'm shitting myself. I'm scared, but I'm going to do it. And I jumped backwards on a 106-meter bridge. And let me tell you, that experience, it's like you're on the edge, right? And you're just looking at the jump master. You're looking at his face. And he's like, all right, 5. They count down from 5, not 1. So it's actually worse because 1, 2, 3 is easier to process in your mind than 5. Because on 1, when you get down to 1, after a countdown from 5, you're like, oh, fuck, I have to jump now. Like the time is up, right? It's an interesting psychological trick. But anyway, they count down from 5. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And I just let go. Well, actually, what did I do? I jumped backwards. That's what I did, yeah. I jumped backwards and I had the GoPro in my hand. And I was just going backwards. And then he just got smaller and smaller and smaller. And then I was just free falling. I was just screaming my arse off. And then as soon as I hit the bottom obviously the bungee kicks in, and that was the fun part. Like when you hit the bottom and the bungee kicks in, that's the funnest part. And he was like, woo! And then the worst part of that is once the bungee stops bouncing, and then you're just like dangling there 106 meters below the surface, and nothing's around you. You're like dangling, like there's rocks below you, and they hoist you back up. That's the scariest part, because you're just there and you're just dangling by this cable on your stomach, and it's pulling you up to the top, and then you get to the top of the platform and you got to step back on the platform. For me, that's the scariest part of the bungee jump. But anyway, I did it, and I did that 15 damn times, right? So why am I sharing this with you? What's the point of me talking about this story? Well, to illustrate that I'm still scared of bungee jumps, even after 15 jumps, but I'll do it again. Why? Because I want to face the shit I'm scared of. Because
I don't want to be a pussy.
I mean, that's just the truth, right? Like, but deeper than that, it's what I said earlier. I don't want to not be proud of myself. Because that's the biggest thing that matters in life. Is I heard Tom Bilyeu say this. He said, at the end of the day, the only thing that matters is how you feel about yourself when you're by yourself. And I feel that so deeply. That, I mean, sometimes you hear things that people say and it just really resonates with you. And that really resonates with me, because if I feel good about who I am, I'm gonna do good in the world because I feel good about me. So I'm gonna be kind to people. I'm gonna do good. I'm gonna add value to people. And I'm gonna just be a good human if I feel good about who I am. So that for me is the goal. Because I feel like I'm here to inspire people, right? And lead by example. So I can't do that if I'm not leading by example, right? And inspiring people is a natural process of leading by example. For example, doing bungee jumps, right? My whole goal with that was to inspire people to attack the things that they're scared of, right? Like, go for what you want in life. Fucking jump. Like Steve Harvey talks about it. He's like, you gotta jump. Like, you can't just be living on land. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, metaphorically speaking, like, you've got to take that leap in life. Otherwise, you'll always be in the same place. And as I'm saying those words to you, that's advice to me too. At every level of my life, that's advice to me. Because I was like,
Aaron, man, you got to keep fucking moving forward. You got to keep pushing the envelope. You got to keep trying new things. You got to keep doing shit.
You know, you got to keep leveling up. Otherwise, you're going to stay stagnant. And that's the worst thing. Like, a river is only clear, the water's only clear because the river keeps moving. The river stops. Like a pond, the water gets all stagnant and shit. You got to keep the energy going. You got to keep moving. It's traveling, like go to places. Like recently, I just came out from Thailand because I realized that, wow, if I just stay here, for example, right now I'm in Bali, right? If I just stay in Bali for like a few years, like my energy gets stagnant. I'm around the same people. Like, I need to keep meeting new people. Like, need to keep moving the energy. And of course, that relates to the personality type you are, right? Like, I get along very well with people because of my people skills. And, you know, everyone has gifts from God, I believe, right? And it's taken me so long to figure out what those gifts are. And clearly, one of my gifts is talking and communicating, right? That's just a gift. I'm happy to do that. I like to do that. Like, for me, it's easier to put on this camera for 10, 15 minutes and talk than it is to write an article. I do like writing, but it's just easier because I've trained this skill set so much of talking, right? So I digress a little bit, but the video is about fear. There's always going to be fear with everything we do, but just knowing that the courage to act in spite of fear is also attractive to the opposite sex. So if you're a man watching this, the women are attracted to strength. And this is something that it took me so long to learn, but strength is not just physical. There's so many guys that I know who have a great body, they're strong, but they're terrible with women. And why is that? Because they don't have a strong presence, right? The women don't feel their strength. And strength takes a lot to cultivate. It's like that masculine energy that women crave, right? And one of those things is going towards what you're scared of, right? That's another trait that women love, is like they love a man that's, you know, not fearless, but, you know, courageous. Like, I'm shit scared, but I'm fucking gonna do it anyway. Like, there's a fucking massive spider in the corner of that room, but I'm gonna go and fucking get it out of there. I fucking hate spiders, but I'm gonna fucking do it because that's what courage is. And this goes back to values. So what are your values? Like, because values are the compass for life, right? Again, all this stuff I'm sharing, I didn't just fall out of the womb and know all this shit. Like, this is through life experiences and coaching. Like, I paid my friend to join this program to learn this stuff and how I relate to my own fears and, my values. So one of my values is courage, right? So if my value is courage, that means that I need to be acting courageous every day, right? Because that's what you set the value, and then you have the actions to do within that value. So how am I going to action this value on a daily basis, right? And so self-expression is another one of my values. So how am I going to express myself? Because before I didn't, right? Before I never had courage, and I was never expressing myself, which is why I was in a relationship for 7 years. And when I eventually ended it, it was like the most craziest surprise to her, because I didn't know how to express myself. So therefore, now, one of my values is I need to self-expression. So now my relationships are a lot different. I have deeper connections with people because I'm able to just express how I feel, right? And it's a process. I'm not saying I'm a saint. I'm just practicing it, and it's getting better. It's like doing these videos. Like, how am I so good at videos now? How can I just turn on the camera and just talk and actually have good shit come out of my mouth? Like, that's not a coincidence. That's practice, right? It's a skill set that I've honed, and I keep honing, right? I remember being in the audience, and this is one of my fears before, is I was at this network marketing event, and the guy was just talking, and he was just dropping bombs after bombs after bombs. I was like,
God damn, how does he do that?
like, how does he just fucking talk and like amazing shit just comes out of his mouth? Like, how is he doing that? And I realized it's because that's his chapter 25, and I'm on I ain't even opened the book, and he's on chapter 25. I ain't even opened the book, right? So of course I'm thinking like that. But once you get in the game and you start learning and you start adding more value to yourself and having these experiences, then the things that you were super scared of become less scary. So back then, doing what I'm doing right now would have been super scary for me. I would have had to do so many takes. I'd be worried about what you're thinking and all this crap. But now I'm just like, I built up so much value in that area that I'm aware of certain things. Like, first of all, I know that authenticity is number one. When I watch content, I want to look at someone and be like, you know what, that guy, like, lady, she's cool. She's real. She's chatting. She's talking sense, right? Like, what she's saying, what he's saying, like, I get that, and I feel that, right? Anyway, I'm digressing a lot, but you know what I mean? So, where was I going with this? I talk a lot of crap. This is great, though, just keep rolling with it. And I'm not a perfectionist. That's another thing, but as you can tell. But yeah, I think authenticity in this day and age is needed, because most people are just like trying to put up this facade of success, and it's like, come on, man. Like, come on, bro. Come on. Anyways, so having the courage to do the thing that you're scared of is what I want to bring this back to, because that's important. Like, for example, as I'm at the time recording this, tomorrow I'm going to an island by myself on the boat, which I've never done that, by the way. So that's another thing of courage, right? Which is, it's okay. It's only a 30-minute boat ride. But anyway, and after that, I'm going to scuba dive, which is something I've never done, and I'm actually quite scared to do that. But I'm with my friends, and he told me that he tried to get me to do it before, and I said no. And this time, I had the idea of saying no, but I know that it's something I want to do, right? I want to explore the ocean. I'm scared of the ocean, so I know it's something that I have to do. And I want to do it, right? It's not like I don't want to do it. So I'm attacking that. And so I'm going to go and do that. And then I'm going to make a video about it, and then tell you about how my experience was, and then keep pushing this message of attacking the thing you're scared of. I've always wanted to do a backflip, right? And I went and got my friend, some of my friends, went to the trampoline park. And long story short, I did a backflip, did a few of them, and it was super hard, and I almost broke my neck. But I did it. I did a backflip. And so that was my biggest fear with a backflip, is like, I don't want to break my neck. And I almost did. I went to the hospital afterwards and got an x-ray. But that just shows you, like, I'm attacking my fears, right? And every man wants to be respected. The way you get respect is by doing shit that most men don't do. Stand-up comedy is another thing. I've done that 5 times, stand-up comedy. Now, I mean, actually, well, the 5th time I did it, I wasn't scared, right? I was a bit nervous, but I wasn't scared because I was confident and I was just excited. It was different experience, right? But first time I did it, I was obviously nervous, but you know, after the first joke and everyone starts laughing, I'm like, oh fuck, this is amazing. You know, it's that addiction to the validation and, you know, dopamine, but you have to be good, right? So I can see how stand-up comedy is addictive, but it's also attacking the things I'm scared of, right? And one of my friends, actually, I had a meeting with him, and he said, he thinks that he's a very successful businessman, right? And he said, he thinks that stand-up comedy is harder than starting a business. And I was like, wow, I don't think that at all. I think the opposite. I think starting a business is harder than doing a stand-up comedy. Like stand-up comedy, all you got to do is write a set for 5 minutes and then do a set. It's easy. But it's interesting how people view the world, and obviously everyone's different, right? So for my strengths, stand-up comedy is infinitely easier than starting a business. But that's just because of who I am, my strengths. So I digress, but yeah, attacking the things you're scared of is what I think life's all about, and that's how you grow as a person, right? So that's how you become proud of yourself, I believe. That's just my opinion, right? So I hope you found value out of this. And if you have anything that you're fearful of right now and you want to work through this, you want someone to, first of all, listen to you and then help you identify the things that you haven't seen. Like, because the value of a coach is the coaches see what you can't see. I can ask you questions that you would never have thought to ask yourself. That's what I've been honing for the last 5 years in my coaching practice. Like, that's what I've been doing with clients, because most of results in life come from mindset. So it's how you're thinking about the thing, not the thing that is actually getting in the way of you getting the results. So it's all about the thoughts, because everything originates from a thought, right? So there's thoughts that you're believing that are leading to you feeling a certain way, which leads to you taking certain actions, which leads to you getting certain results. So what we got to do is we've got to go back to the thoughts and rewire those thoughts, because you're believing thoughts that are not true, that are leading you to take actions that are not supporting where you want to be, or not taking action at all because you're believing something that's not true. So when you have a fear, like what is this? What is that fear? Unpacking that, right? What's the worst thing? What's the worst thing that can happen? And then I have a process that I can coach you through for free. You can go ahead and click the link below this video, or you can just DM me on the Instagram at @TheRealDarko. Just DM me the word fear, and I'll know what that means. And then we can set up a time to speak, and then we can go into your fears, right? Like, again, I have fears too, but you have fears that you're not moving towards, and there's a reason why. So we're going to unpack that and get you clear so you can start moving towards the things that you're scared of, so you can have a better life. Because ultimately, this is all about increase in everything, right? More money, more love, more joy, more happiness, right? And you get that and being proud of yourself, of course, and you get that by attacking your fears, right? So I just want to be an example of me going towards my own fears and then helping people that want help. That's it, right? So it's a really easy deal, you know? And so click link below this video, or you can DM me at the Instagram at @TheRealDarko and just type in the word fear. I'll know what that means. Or you can message me on Facebook as well, Aaron Darko, just find me on there. And let's get you the help that you need. Because the thing is, most people in life are not feeling heard. I say that again. Most people in life don't feel heard. Like, they don't feel like people actually listen to them. You maybe feel like that too. Maybe you feel like you're misunderstood in life. Like, no one understands me. Like, you know, before I learned like emotional intelligence stuff, I had a girlfriend complain to me. It's like, you don't understand me. I was like, yeah, I fucking do. But I didn't, because I wasn't actually listening to her. I thought I understood her, but she didn't feel understood. And this is what my business mentor always taught me. He said, people buy when they feel understood, not when they understand you. And that is so true. You know, that's so true. Like, it's not about you understanding me. It's about me understanding you. And that's what I geek out on, because that's where the juice is. Like, I want to see how you see the world. Like, how are you viewing this thing that you say is a problem, that I don't think is a problem, but you think it's a problem? Or whatever it is, it doesn't matter what it is, right? Because a great coach is able to ask great questions. And that's what coaching is. It's just the art of asking really powerful questions to get you to think, because thinking is nothing but the process of asking powerful questions, right? So The better questions you ask yourself, the better results you get in your life. And I want to ask you those questions so you can get unstuck. So if you want help with that, click the link below this video or go to Instagram, DM me fear at the real Darko, and then we'll talk about helping you out with this. All right. So helping you get unstuck and having the courage to move towards your fears. All right. So hope you found this video helpful. If you did, give it a like, subscribe, share with your friends, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Ciao.